Nickerson began to suspect that he was attracted to young girls when he was 13 years old. Then at the age of 18, he regularly babysat a 5-year-old girl and eventually fell in love with her. Wow. They write here, because he was molested at age 7, he knew the damage abuse caused and did not want to hurt the little girl, so he packed up and left town so that he did not offend. Later, he came out to his family as a pedophile. He came out. Do you see what's happening here? This is the liberal media at salon.com coming out and trying to normalize this coming out party, right? People are coming out as gay, people are coming out as lesbian, people are coming out as transsexual, and now people coming out as pedophiles. Yes, the normalization process has begun.
The audience should think that you are nude. Now, this is a famous routine that was, I know, that's why you can get away with it. Hide and look over there. I'm hot. I'm mean. You can't have me. You can't afford me.
And then this is normalized. Again, I've shown you now 6 different outlets where they're normalizing it.
I'm trying to normalize this coming out, and now people coming out as pedophiles.
And I've shown you now 6 different outlets where they're normalizing it.
Yes, the normalization process has begun.
So here's what's going down today. The Austin International Drag Festival. So you have all these headliners. You have Poo Poo Platter, May See Some Cocks, Eaton Johnson. I mean, I'll let you figure that one out on your own. And then E. So I came across E, and that's one of the headliners. And that looks like a boy dressed as a woman in drag. We've even recently seen Lactatia, the 8-year-old boy whose parents allow him to dress in drag. The 8-year-old boy whose parents allow him to dress in drag so he can be paraded around at drag festivals.
I'm gonna find out who's lactating today.
I am a lactator, honey.
Drag is an all ages thing. Drag should be an all ages thing, and some people consider it provocative. It's not inappropriate, but it's not something that parents should be afraid of if their kids do,
so that the liberals can thus promote children should be encouraged to transition to whatever sexuality they want, even though we're finding out that there are complications associated, such as the hormones causing the boys to have penises that are stunted.
There's definitely been a lot of complications in terms of the bottom surgery because I've been on the hormone blockers, and basically I haven't had a lot of development. So we're, debating if I have enough material to work with. It's all this weird stuff.
You're finding kids then decide later on, actually, I don't want to transition, and then they have to go through a whole reversal process. It's just a freaking disaster. We've also seen public libraries holding drag storytelling time, where children are brought to the library to then have a drag queen read them a story, thus normalizing and promoting this drag fetish culture to young children.
There aren't a lot of kid drag queens. They're considered inappropriate, but inappropriate just means that you look good. I'm 8 years old, get it right.
But do they really need to be being paraded around and given this knowledge into a taboo fetish-like culture at such a young age? That seems like a topic for kids that are much older. We're talking teenagers and even young adults, not for young school children. And when you start reading throughout their event festival page, it says several times that all ages are welcome. It's an all ages event. You have this overly raunchy, sexualized drag festival. People coming can buy hotel rooms. It's in a hotel. How easy would that be to engage in prostitution?
I was kind of waiting for a pet parade to happen in the back. Like all these pets are adoptable. You can have the queens go back now. All these queens are for adoption. Yeah.
But also the fact that you have kids going to this. So we're going to go undercover. I'm going to gear up and dress up as Rainbow Snatch. And I'm about to go to the 2017 Austin International Drag Festival. This is obviously mature content, and if mature adults want to engage in this behavior and in these activities, that's their right. But when you start dragging kids into this type of culture, taboo activity, that's when it becomes an issue.
Just step up here. You're young and spry. Guys, show me up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what your children will be wearing in the future. Yes, this is amazing.
I brought my rake too. I just left it in my other pants.
That's as racy as I'm gonna go. Racy as I'm kidding. I'm totally gonna go racier than that. How many days does it take to run a cable under the stage? Apparently more than 2.
She had just dropped in from campus. Big guys with the smoking campus. Well, she ain't flying in on a bubble butt. Next thing, she a 10 with a bubble butt.
Teach the children. Teach the children. Whew, I'm all about education. I actually do story time with drag queens in Chicago. Right? Yes, family programming. Family programming. Family programming. I actually do story time with drag queens in Chicago. Right? Yes, family programming. Love it, yes. If all of the children in the audience could plug their ears, because I'm just kidding. Please welcome to the stage, Cunty Hornet! Ladies and gentlemen, Cunty Hornet, one more time.
I've married a boy who'd rather be a girl, but he never curls my toes for me like a boy should do a girl. He's stacked like a boy, but in the boudoir he don't attack.
You had little boys dressed in drag at this event, and they were watching and participating in what most people would consider mature content. Now, what was most disturbing of all is the main act that closed out before this intermission was that of a young child.
Please welcome to the stage the wonderful, the amazing, the dragnificent E.
E was the performer's name, the youngest drag queen around. That's how they announced him. And he, she, whatever, was rolling around on the ground, jumping around, performing. And essentially the format was to dance around seductively, remove some articles of clothing even, and people give you money, throw dollars at you, like what you would see at a strip club. And this is really disturbing because it's grooming children so that when they become adults, it's all natural and part of it.
You are amazing, and you keep doing you. I'm presenting you with your very own drag pride flag.
It's kind of creepy because it reminds me of when you see those creepy toddler and tiaras performances where you have these beauty queens and it already seems like the children are being sexually exploited. But now you have young little boys dressed in drag performing on stage in front of a bunch of adults, most of them men. Okay, there were a lot of like regular looking men that love to flirt with the drag queens and throw dollars at them and wink at them and throw kisses at them. They essentially looked like Johns, if you ask me. But they're dancing around in front of these men for this taboo fetish, and you've got little kids doing it, little kids being drugged into this culture. You cross the line when you start dragging children into the middle of it.
Come on, oh there, go pick your cabbage, baby, pick your cabbage.
They should leave these children alone and let them develop their sexuality on their own in their own time and not be forcing these weird taboo fetishes on them.
It's nice and quiet. Again. Starts another big riot. You know it. Single, tankards lose. Single, so what's the use? Wow! Of falling in love with them. It's nice and quiet, but soon again starts another big riot. You lose, single, tankards lose, single, so what's the use? Wow, of falling in love.
There's going to be a massive normalization of evil on a scale you've never even imagined possible. Forget about even having seen it or witnessed it. You have never read about it. You've never imagined it is even possible. And that's what is happening right now. And remember that I've always told us that the main target is the children, because the children are energy storehouses. The children, that's where the energy is. That's where innocence is. That's where all the power lies. Everything the devil needs to operate in our world is in excess in our children because of their innocence. So children have become the principal targets.
Are you a champion of parental rights in education? Because if so, we need you. Did you know that a recent UCLA study found that 27% of California kids say they are gender nonconforming? They don't accept their biological reality. Why is this happening? Well, it's because our kids are being confused into thinking that gender is no longer binary. Our legislature and the entire education ecosystem in California is promoting this agenda, and they're using tools like these to teach the very youngest learners in California about sexual anatomy, gender identity, and sexual orientation. They're exploiting kids and shaping their beliefs about issues that only parents should be forming in young children. These books were recently approved to teach sex ed related topics to pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade students in Los Angeles Unified School District. Let's take a look at some of these. This Day in June is a tool for teaching respect, acceptance, and understanding of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people by introducing 4 to 6-year-olds to a pride parade. And there's even some visual cues in here about how to vote for kindergartners. This book, Introducing Teddy, says the thing about being a boy or girl is that it doesn't matter what other people say, it's what you say that matters. That sounds like a recipe for parenting disaster. I have a 6-year-old. Does this apply to bedtime, teeth brushing, food choices too? Anyway, in Worm Meets Worm, Marriage is presented just as a social expectation, sort of full of the trappings of the cake and the dress and the party and the rings. Even the bride and groom don't matter, because when worm and worm fall in love, they get married. And in What Makes a Baby, kids are presented with these androgynous forms of people-type figures, and the uterus is just a place where babies grow, but not everybody has one. There's no concept of parents or a man and a woman co-creating life out of love, just the sperm and the egg that become one, and they just need to find a place to grow. Look, this is sexual, social, political grooming of little kids. This is state-sponsored indoctrination. Parents should talk to their kids about family matters, sex, and personal identity issues in the way that they know is appropriate for their own children. Kids aged 4 to 6 need to learn phonics. They need to learn to read, to write, to understand basic math concepts. They need good hygiene habits and appropriate manners and social skills. There is no reason to introduce this kind of sexualized content to little kids. Take a stand today. Support SB 673, which protects kids ages 4 to 12 by making sex ed content for grades pre-K through 6th available for preview on a district website.
Who is it that loves to violate children sexually? Satan. Is it that he's sacrificing them, sucking their blood, or he is violating them sexually? Look at the video I posted on my channel that many people found very difficult to watch the other time. How rich men, billionaires, would fly into a certain location in Europe to go and violate sexually babies because they extract energy from them. These men are demons in human skin. This is what we're living in today. You are a parent, you are the one I'm addressing. This is the life we now live. Everything is going to be legalized and normalized. Are you ready? Are you ready to wake up? Are you ready to put in extra effort into finding out what is going on around your children?